My senior year of college, I thought I was going to graduate and be living this rich lifestyle, not because, I had a lot of money, I was actually broke at the time, but because I realized, hey, I'm going to get my first real person job and have income coming through the doors. Now, the next decade of my life, all throughout my 20s, it was not really what I expected. So I want to talk about what it's actually like building wealth in your 20s, and there's 7 different things that really stick out to me. So I think the first thing I want to talk about, building wealth in your 20s, is probably not as exciting as you thought it was going to be. And don't worry, I was there too. I remember in college looking at Instagram, YouTube, all these influencers living a life, living it up, parties, drinks, all of this stuff going on, traveling every weekend, private jets. Like, I remember thinking, holy crap, that's what life is gonna be when I graduate. And boy, was I off basis. Now, keep in mind, those people aren't usually wired for that traditional 9-to-5 job. They're doing a lot of social media stuff, and it's a very small sliver of the population that's actually doing that. And a lot of them have a burn rate that's incredibly high. They're not actually building wealth, but they're spending all of their money, and it's gonna bite them later on, which really sucks. But what I wanna talk about here is if you can fall in love with that unglamorized stuff, the stuff that's not polarized in media, it makes a huge difference, man. I remember in college when I graduated, my friend came up to me, he's like, I got myself a little gift for graduation. The dude didn't even have a job lined up, and he bought himself a brand new BMW. We're talking about taking out tens of thousands, if not over $100,000 worth of student loans. Now adding this debt on top of it, a high interest debt too, like it's just insane. Meanwhile, here I am, I'm still driving my old 2009 Ford F-150 clunker, and there's no better decision that I've made than to own my cars outright and really fall in love with what people think are boring when it comes to building finances that actually excite the hell out of me. When I find a way to lower my insurance costs, or when I find a way to lower the electric bill that I have, like that genuinely is super exciting for me. And I'm realizing now how nerdy that is, but it's a lot of fun for me, man. It's like a game, it's like a video game. I've been keeping my costs low. There hasn't been that lifestyle creep. And I think as we get towards the tail end of our 20s, you see this hockey stick curve. If you've been investing as heavily as I am, this compounding is finally starting to work. And I've never been more excited to put more money into the stock market than where we are right now. And it's all kudos to just falling in love and glamorizing the stuff that most people try to stay away from. Now, the second thing I realized about building wealth in my 20s is that the first few dollars you save is more psychological than anything that's going to be impacting your lifestyle. And what I mean by that is that when you start saving just a couple dollars, your life isn't really changing. You don't feel very different. It almost feels like a waste, like you're not going to get very far. At least that's how I felt for maybe the first $2,000. Then you start making more. And when I say I got to $10,000, that's when it kind of clicked for me. Hey, if some big emergency happens, well, I'm going to be able to swing that payment. You start living life with a level of comfort that you probably have never known existed beyond that point. So I remember I was that college student that had to clock into work. I had to work just so I could afford that month's rent. I was that person that was gambling in the stock market. I thought it was investing at the time, but it was literally rent money that I needed. If things went wrong, I would be at zero, and then all of a sudden I'd be evicted because I couldn't make payments. And I was that risky person when I was younger, and that all kind of changed throughout my money, my relationship with money, and building wealth in my 20s. All right, so another thing about building wealth in your 20s, it's just that making more money doesn't automatically make you feel any safer. Now, I've got a friend who makes far more money than I do. However, they barely save any money. They're living that extravagant lifestyle. They are going to the parties, they are going and they're traveling, they're doing all of the luxury things. And at the end of the day, their savings rate is extremely low. Meanwhile, here I am making less money, just doing less with that money. It's all about the margin between how much you can save and how much you're earning and what your expenses are. And the more you can put away, like the future of our two situations based off of where our lives are headed right now are dramatically different. I have dramatically more money in the savings account in the investing category than they have, despite them making way more money. And so when you're younger, what actually matters more, a lot of people wait to start investing and they get worried because they feel like they don't have enough money. Well, what matters far more is that margin of how much you're saving, how much you're putting into the market. And if you can keep that expense rate low and save more money, you are going to set yourself up for an insane financial future. So the fourth thing that I want to talk about is that your 20s is filled with fun, but a lot of that is just overpriced experiences that happen. Well, I remember one of the biggest decisions that I ever made after graduating college. A bunch of my buddies wanted to move into Boston. We're talking one of the most extreme high cost of living areas, like it's just insane what rent is there right now. Plus on top of that, I would have probably spent a ton of money like every night, going out, eating, all these different things. And it was far from where I had to commute to my job when I graduated. So I made the conscious decision to say, hey, I don't care about all that stuff as much. I'm probably gonna end up saving money and I'm gonna live in a lower cost of living area, closer to where I commute, and say no to a lot more experiences than I would have had otherwise. Now, I can't tell you how grateful I am of that decision. Seeing those random Tuesday night texts about them going out and getting too shit-faced at the bar and all these problems that happened with it. Like, I wanted nothing to do with that at that point. And this was honestly probably the best decision that I made because it enabled me to go out on my own. I got a different roommate. I learned a lot more experiences after that. And especially when dealing with money, it set me up to make the decision to then move back home to my fiance's mother's house with her, pay next to nothing in rent, and save up, which got me the down payment for the duplex that I now live in. One side's rented out, and the rest is history. I think that I would have made dramatically different decisions with my money, with my time, all the different stuff I was doing had I just gone and moved with a lot of my friends from college into that area and extended the college years that I had. That wasn't something I was interested in doing. And I just think that that's one example, but there are so many times in that group chat where I'd see them just getting shit-faced on a Tuesday and then on a Wednesday and all the problems that were coming afterwards. And in my mind, all I'm thinking is cha-ching, cha-ching. One, I don't want to be a part of that experience. And two, holy crap, is all of this expensive. And so again, I do feel like I dodged a bullet with a lot of that, and it's been able to set me up to where I'm at now. And so that's a perfect segue into what I feel like is the decision that controls everything in your 20s, which is what you decide to do for housing. Okay, everybody loves to optimize for, paying less in subscriptions, for the coffee, for those little things that they feel like is actually controlling their finances. To be honest, that stuff has very little impact in most scenarios. And what does have the biggest impact is the thing that is quietly the most expensive thing that you have to deal with in your life, which is your rent, your housing, your mortgage costs. What you do for your life is all determined by, I think, how you lived in your 20s. Did you live alone? Did you get a roommate? Did you move home? How did you set yourself up? I will tell you that every single one of my friends that decided to say, hey, I need a year to get on my feet after college, are in worlds of a different spot than my friends that just went right into getting their own place, not having roommates, not really trying to optimize the most expensive costs that you're gonna have in life. And look, I get it. I know what the comments are gonna say. You're lucky to have a place to go home to. You're lucky to have, a family that would be willing to allow you to live under their roof. And yes, I don't take any of that for granted. I think that's very valid. But I will say that in a lot of scenarios, I've seen people just way outlive what their lifestyle actually should be or could be at that time. And it just burns them right off the bat. And I just think that when I see somebody who makes a good decision, or what I feel like is a good decision with their housing situation at a young age, you can kind of determine where that person is going to end up as they keep building their wealth. So it's the one thing that I've always focused on for me. It's like I lived in an apartment with 6 roommates in college. Then I graduated and lived in a 2-bedroom with 4 roommates. I just saved a crap ton of money, moved home, all that time just compiling money to be able to buy a property that even now, I don't live alone in. I live with my fiance, we've got renters, and it has drastically changed what I'm able to do in terms of flexibility with spending in my lifestyle. Now, the 6th thing that I want to talk about is that, it's really not hard to learn what to do financially, but it's extremely hard to be the person that actually acts on it. Okay, I'll be the first to tell you, I've digested more financial YouTube and reading books about finances than most people out there. I've got this weird, sick obsession about just putting YouTube on in the background and hearing all of the different financial rules, principles, all the different financial YouTubers getting different perspectives. It is something that deeply interests me. But I will say that until I became somebody who actually acted on that, none of that matters. Obtaining all of that information is great, you kind of understand what is expected or what's needed. But if you never do anything about it, well, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So when I started actually taking action, that's when everything was starting to change. Now, at the beginning, it's very hard to be that person who takes action because you see where other people are at. You see the finish line, the retirees, the people with multi-six-figure portfolios at the same age that you are with nothing. But the problem is you can't get discouraged with where other people are at and like with where you're at and the comparison. It is just getting started. Because when you go over from the mindset of being somebody who's just absorbing the knowledge to somebody who's actually acting on it, that's when you're gonna start seeing it slowly change. And I will say it's always slow up front, but you always look back in your career, especially your investing career, and you say, man, I wish I started earlier. I would be in a world's different place right now. Okay, now the seventh thing for me, and this really hits home, is that no matter where you're at in your wealth building journey, I think that this is probably gonna apply to everybody, you're just never gonna feel ahead, especially in your 20s. Okay, you see, I feel like I'm very far ahead compared to a lot of people our age. However, I still feel probably just as far behind as a lot of you watching this video are. Now, it's important to look back at certain milestones. I mean, if you can literally cover an emergency expense of like $500, you're well ahead of more than half of Americans. Like, there are insane stats when it comes to just how little money people have and just how not like financially wired the US or, you know, the world is at this point. You just need to take your little wins and feel confident and proud about where you're at, because, you know, there's never a finish line to this wealth building stuff. I promise you, I have goals that I've hit that I didn't think that I'd hit in my 20s, that when I got there, I still feel like I'm not doing well enough and like I should be even further ahead. The bar just keeps raising higher and higher, and it's your job to keep it in check and just not get too discouraged. And that happens a ton in my 20s, and it's still not over for me. So yeah, listen, there's a lot of wealth building lessons that you learn in your 20s that is going to set you up for literally the rest of your life. I think there's some huge decisions, some pivotal moments in this. All of this is the basis. And I think that by the end of your 20s, you can kind of look at somebody and see, hey, where are they going to be at, 15, 20 years from now, just based off of the rules and the implementation of things that they did in their 20s. Now, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. It's a bit of a different style. Let me know if you liked it in the comments down below. I would appreciate it. Thanks for checking it out, and have a great day.